Trent Takes On is back today, and I have my puppy with me. Hi, puppy. So you want to say hi? Just sniff the microphone. Sniff it, sniff it. I wonder if that picks up. That's pretty funny. I'm back with my puppy today. Look, this show is not supposed to be about politics, but politics informs society. The show is really about society, so there's going to be bleed over, especially when it's, politics are kind of crazy right now. This episode in particular is going to be about a bigger kind of thing that's going on in society, but there'll be a political aspect. So, you know what? So sorry about that. I'm also excited to say I have a few extra minutes in this billing cycle, so I'm going to throw on a classic episode as well as this one. So you'll get this guy, and then whatever time I have left, I'm going to pick an episode of about that time from the archives. I have over 100 previous episodes that I can choose from to put on the current feed. And so I'm going to do that too. Neat. Let's start. And anyway, what are we going to talk about today? Today, I say that this show's about society. It's about, it's really about leaving something for my kids. If there's anything that I really miss, it's the family that I've lost. And, my mom, my grandparents, my aunt, all of these people were so influential and important in my life. And they all left me a little bit earlier than they probably should have, with the exception of my grandparents, who were in their 80s. So good on them. That's solid. It's putting in a good shift. If I get to like 85, like my grandparents, I'm going to feel like that was a job well done. I'm also, I've mentioned this on this show before. I suffer from pretty crippling anxiety. I'm scared of aging. I don't like aging, and I'm terrified of death, which is rough because you kind of have to choose one or the other. So I'm just going to kind of learn to deal with aging as it goes. Anyway, one of the reasons I started this podcast was to leave something for my kids, my voice, my experience, my wisdom, that they can keep that with them forever. This also became my hobby, and so it goes out into the world for everybody to pick up or ignore. It is what it is. I like positivity. And I think most people like positivity. They like being uplifted. They like hearing great stories, and that's a funny thing about stories. Everybody has a story to tell. And a lot of people kind of think, my story's boring. I'm not a very good storyteller. It's not very exciting. I didn't do a whole lot of stuff. Every story is interesting. Every story is interesting. If you really think about it, because every life in every story is different. They come from different perspectives. They go in different directions. Every story can be interesting if you tell it, but you got to tell it. And sometimes, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to tell your story, and sometimes it's hard to stand up. I took all last week off. I was basically kind of regenerating the battery by spending a lot of time with my family, my kids in particular. My girls, we participated in the Ruby Bridges Walk to School, which was a cool event where we, commemorate Ruby Bridges, who's still alive, of course. Not of course. I mean, she was what? Probably 70 now. One of the first one of the first students to integrate those schools in the South after the Equal Rights Act and after the Supreme Court struck down segregation in schools. Being a part of that was really cool. It was uplifting. It was empowering. It felt great. I looked around at this wonderfully diverse group of parents and children who were all participating, and they made it about Ruby Bridges and her story, and I really appreciated that. So I got to do that. That kind of thing recharges the battery. It makes you feel better about it. It makes you feel better about the things that we have to do going forward. I've been doing a little cleanup here and there, like I said I would on the last episode. You got to kind of just lean into things and do the things that bring you comfort. And even if you you don't believe that they're making a big difference. They really do. It really does make a difference when you do the little things, the small kindnesses. I find myself often, and this is kind of gross, I guess. I find myself often having to pick up dog poop left by other owners and other dogs. While I'm out walking my dog, if I see somebody else's dog poop just kind of like there, I'll break out my extra bag and I'll bag it up and toss it in the trash. And, I don't know, it makes a difference. It really does. Whether you realize it or not, that little act is something that's important. And these days, it becomes more and more difficult. And the thing that I wanted to talk about today was being a good winner and being a good loser, being gracious as in victory and not being downtrodden in defeat, not being a poor loser. I don't know if we teach our kids enough of this. It's kind of difficult because you're not always there with them when they're winning or losing. The video game culture that goes on right now. I don't know if there's a winner or loser to an hour of Minecraft, but I mean, I'm guessing there is, and my kids go through it. They have a tendency to bicker with each other over board games and things like that too. And it's just is winning and losing in these things important? Not really. But it's an analog. It's a greater analog for a larger portion of your life. I'm not happy that Democrats lost an election and that an incredibly unpopular and malicious force is gonna be given a whole lot of power that that he's already had, that he's abused, and will go back and abuse it again. He's already said he's going to. So I'm not happy about that. But you kind of have to look at it from the point of view of this is what happens. You get backlash. You get back. The pendulum swings back and forth. I was talking to my wife this morning. Everything's like a series of throw the bums out elections. We're never happy with who's in charge, no matter who it is. And inflation's been a problem, and price gouging's been a problem, and people are like, well, we want to fix that. And the problem is the guy that they chose doesn't have any plan to fix that. So that's not good. I'm upset because people didn't pay attention properly. They didn't learn what was really going to happen. And somebody got elected on a promise that he can't keep, and he's not going to be able to. That's upsetting. It's also, when you look at the supporters of said former president, now president-elect again, they're not exactly gracious winners. They are not. They are assholes about it. You won. Why are you still so fucking angry? They are still angry. And they are gross. They get grosser with every passing moment. That there's this just insane story that came out about spam emails and calls to people of color, threatening them with deportation, telling them that they need to leave now or they will be forcibly deported. And that's disgusting. That's vile. There was this thing going around on Twitter, this "Your Body, My Choice" thing that they were reposting. Nick Fuentes and others, these super conservative, just awful people. That's not okay. That's not okay. That's not. It's not what most of these people who voted for Trump voted for. There are maggots out there who are that way. They are awful fucking people, and they want some retribution. They want blood. Most voters aren't that way. Just like most voters on the Democratic side are not ultra progressive. They're not. They're just people. Most of those voters out there that just voted this way, they're just people. They're not necessarily malicious. They're not necessarily activists. They're just people. And a lot of them didn't bother voting because they feel like their votes don't matter. Well, that's not good either. A lot of people stop paying attention because they don't want to be a part of this partisan politics, this calcified electorate where you have to have a winner and loser. And, the last time these guys lost, they tried to overthrow the government. So they don't lose well, and then they don't win well either. So what do you tell your kids? What do you tell your kids? How do you talk to the other kids at school? My kids have friends, and we see those friends when they go into and out of the school. Like they chat with each other, and my kids are like, "This is my friend," and her name is, I'll make up a name, Jenny. Her name is Jenny, and I'm like, "Awesome, hi Jenny, I'm Jane's dad," and so you get to know these kids a little bit, and you just feel terrified for them. Here's Jenny. She's a Latina, and what is going to happen to her family if it's a mixed family? What is going to happen to her family if her grandfather or grandmother are here? Having overstayed their visa, for example. That's what the Republicans consider an illegal immigrant, which is insane. It's just an immigrant who happens to have overstayed their visa. They're undocumented at that point, and they need to be reprocessed. But the process is so onerous, it's so difficult that a lot of people aren't able to make it happen for them. And that part of immigration reform never gets talked about. Instead, it's all about, who's coming over the border. These people are just people trying to live a good life and be a part of something that has a future. And they're excited to be here, and they're excited to work hard, and we've treated them poorly and continue to do so. What do I tell that kid, if anything, on the day that she comes out crying? Or what do I tell my kid on the day that Jenny doesn't make it to school because her whole family has left? These are difficult times. And my kids are going to ask me questions. They already do. What are you doing? You know what's wrong. You know what's broken. Why can't you fix it? And that's a tough question to answer because I sort of know what's wrong. I sort of know part of how to fix it. Like, how do I get that out into the world? I don't know. There's a lot of infighting in the Democratic Party about messaging and about how, it's our woke ideology. I fucking hate that. I hate this woke bullshit. It's not fucking woke to believe in equality and freedom. It's not fucking woke to believe that people should be able to be who they are, who they want to be, identify the way they want to identify, love who they want to love, worship who they want to worship. People should have that freedom in this country, out everywhere, for my 2 cents. And we shouldn't be involved in changing that. And the government shouldn't be involved in changing that. Those people deserve complete freedom and equality, protection under the law. All of those things should be protected status. Sexual identity should be protected, identity, genetic identity. What the fuck? There are multiple different versions of the way X and Y chromosomes fit together. And it's not just as simple as XYXX. It's not that simple. Okay? The Republican Party seems to think it is, but it's not. And they just try to squeeze everything into these 2 boxes. And it doesn't matter what your 2 boxes are. It's not right. And it's none of your fucking business. And I hate the quote unquote woke bullshit because it's not woke. That's what's called being a good human. Allowing other people to live the life that they want to live, as long as they're not hurting anybody, who fucking cares? That's none of your business. You be the best you can be. And for those Christians out here who scream and throw fits over, this is an abomination in God's eye. That's not for you to fucking judge, man. You're taking away one of God's big things. He loves judging people. That's the rule. God gets to judge. You don't get to judge. Judge not, lest ye be judged. And didn't Jesus tell us that we're supposed to fucking love each other? Part of loving each other is letting each other fail, letting each other be who they're going to be, letting each other succeed on their own. Staying out of the way and letting other people live the lives that they're designed to live. And if you want them to walk in the footsteps of Christ like you do, then you better walk in the footsteps of Christ. Don't fucking tell other people how to live if you can't even do it yourself. We're supposed to welcome travelers. We're supposed to treat our neighbors like we treat ourselves, our brothers, like our blood. So do it. Walk the walk if you're going to talk the talk. If you're not, shut the fuck up and get out of the way. Let people live the life that they're supposed to live. And that's not about winning and losing. I know I was supposed to stay on topic, but I didn't. Well, I kind of did. What is winning and losing when it comes to matters of identity, and how can we talk about getting along and finding common ground when one of the things that they don't have common ground with us on is the fact that they don't believe that these people should exist, that LGBTQ people should exist. They don't believe that they should exist. They don't believe that immigrants have come here for good reasons and they want to throw them out. That's not something we can compromise on. That's not something that we can agree to disagree on. Human beings deserve to be treated just as good as you want to be treated. That's how it works. That's the golden rule. It's not up to us to judge. It's up to us to love. That's what makes us better than the generic animals out there that are eating each other without any conscious. We have conscious. We can communicate these ideas and these thoughts and these feelings and these emotions, and we can communicate with each other, and that's important. The ability to communicate changes everything, doesn't it? Just because we may speak different languages doesn't change what's in our hearts. We need to be better. We need to be good people, and we need to be good losers, and we need to be good winners, and understand that these contests, ultimately, they're just a snapshot in time. It's just a moment. Because the moment will change. In the next election, you could absolutely have your ass handed to you. It's happened before. And it'll happen again. And that's going to do it for Trent Takes On. I do want to throw in one special something today. I have left X. I'm no longer, I'm an X-Xer, X-Twitter, Twitter-X, X-Twitter, anyway, I left that fucking platform. It's a bunch of right-wing trolls and misinformation and fucking garbage. And if you're still there, please delete your account. Come to Blue Sky with me. It's great over here. We have cookies. You can find me at Old Man Trent. I love talking to people. I love interacting with people. I love being positive. I love looking toward the future. We can be better than we've been. And we need to be better. We need to protect our planet for future generations. We need to do a better job. We need to be better than our parents were, because the boomer generation fucked us. Okay? I'll say it. Boomers. As a proud Gen Xer, they never gave me the keys to anything. And like I said, all my family members are dead, and they didn't leave me anything. Like literally nothing except some debt. Which makes me sad, but it is what it is. So come visit me on Blue Sky and get the hell off of X. I'm also available on Instagram at drunken_Trent. I'm still there. So, and please share this with a friend, okay? Let's keep it going. You, me, we're buddies now. Let's do this. I appreciate you. Take care, and look out for our special, our special. Like I've got some sort of co-host now. My special Trent Takes On retro episode that will also come out probably tomorrow, I'm guessing. But either today or tomorrow. All right. Peace, love, Bobby Sherman. I'll talk to you again very soon. Love you all.